Ladies, I know you guys are tired of dealing with men that are broke, and fellas, I know it's the most uncomfortable thing to date while you're broke. But I want to break this down from a licensed therapist perspective. Should you be dating while you are broke? So you guys sit back and we're going to talk about it right now. What's good, y'all? My name is Terrence, Stewart, licensed therapist, and I'm your men's mental health expert. So before we get started, I want to run this clip on this gentleman. He appears to be bringing his lady to the Waffle House on her birthday as a birthday dinner. So let's check this out. Now I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you guys think about this situation?
It's my birthday, sis. He brought me to the Waffle. Thank you. It's my, look at it, even the cashier had to look up. Even the cook had to look up.
I got that much money.
It's my birthday.
All right, so first and foremost, it sounds like he doesn't have enough money. So that's why he brought her to the Waffle House. But let's keep rocking the video.
He brought me to the Waffle House. That's so disrespectful.
And she's claiming it's being disrespectful by him not having enough money, but still taking her to the Waffle House. Now, at this point in time, is it the thought that really counts? Is it the thought that really counts? Or could he have done better by not taking her to the Waffle House? I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you guys think? Could he have done better based on him not having any money? Or is it really just the thought that counts?
I'm tired of this, man.
She says she's tired of it. It sounds like he's probably done this more than once. Like, this isn't the first time he's done it. So he's clearly, out of her frustration, seems like he's done this more than one time.
Go to Bahama Breeze.
Man, Bahama Breeze is too much.
We know everything.
He said Bahama Breeze is too. I don't even know what Bahama Breeze is. I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe Bahama Breeze sound like it's like a Chili's or something like that. It doesn't sound like it's too upscale. Probably something, maybe mid, a little bit higher tier than Waffle House. And I want to pause real quick because I went to Waffle House about a year ago when I was in Atlanta. I know they have them out here in Houston, but I went when I was in Atlanta. And Waffle House was like, it wasn't the cheapest. Probably, I don't know the prices, but just me individually, I spent probably around like $20, $25 just on my meal. And I know sometimes maybe you can go somewhere else and maybe get a more decent meal like Chili's or, somewhere else to get a meal that's $25. But I don't know what state they're in. I don't know where they're at, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, Waffle House is kind of pricey, especially, the one we went to, they had the extra added gratuity, which probably added more, or it's not the extra gratuity, but the included 20% if you dined in. So yeah, I just want to kind of throw that out there. Let's keep rocking the video.
All-star, scrambler.
Hey.
We want blueberry waffles,
so
walnut waffles.
And it depends. Bahama Breeze actually ain't that expensive.
Thank you. You thought she was on your side. Bahama Breeze ain't expensive at all.
I work as a server.
No, they ain't got nothing to do with that because you got money and he has no job. Since I've been taking care of him for 4 years.
So I'm going to pause real quick because she said he clearly has no job and he's been, I guess, not working for a couple years or whatever it may be. So at this point in time, should she really be surprised that he took her to the Waffle House if he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have money, and she's been taking care of him for this amount of time? Should she really be surprised? Let's keep rocking the video.
Man with no job scraped up $12.15. You should appreciate that. That's all.
He's saying, so you should appreciate what I'm giving you. You should already appreciate what I'm giving you. But for whatever reason, I guess it's played out of context. Most definitely played out of context.
That sounds so crazy. That sounds so. Sis, can you give me your best steak?
If you date the
give me the finest.
She tried to be funny and ask for the best and the finest. So I'm going to break this down real quick, right? So the question still lies. Should you be dating while you're broke? Me, from my perspective, as a licensed therapist and as a man myself, I would highly recommend not dating while you're broke. The reason why is because dating can be seen as a liability or an asset, and sometimes a risk and a gamble. But as a man, and I'm very traditional, I believe in courting, and I believe a man should pay for the meal, especially if you're asking a woman out on the date. Like, you guys shouldn't be going half on the bill, especially if you're trying to court. And I'm a firm believer, and I'm a stand by that as well. So I know a lot of folks, oh, we're going to half on the bill. I don't do none of that. I don't do any of that especially if I'm trying to get to know a woman. Now, the most important thing when we talk about dating, and I know sometimes it's hard to be by yourself, it's hard to be lonely, but the best thing, especially, if you don't have the funds to really date or really pay for the meals, the best thing to do is really focus on yourself. And focus on yourself, when you're able to have a good relationship with yourself and be able to focus on yourself, that will then translate into you having a better dating experience, because it's the most uncomfortable thing to try to date while you're broke. And even in my past, I've also tried to date while I was broke. And typically when I talk about broke, obviously I wasn't doing like the whole Waffle House or Denny's type of situation. But there are times where I'm dating, I'm using I'm spending a lot of my income on a date. And what I learned typically is, again, when you're dating somebody, you're trying to get to know them, right? So I would spend especially, maybe 100 or maybe close to $150 at the time. That was, pretty decent. You can get a pretty decent meal at a niche restaurant or Italian restaurant, including drinks and all that stuff. Like you can get a cool little meal for like 100, 150 bucks for two. I think the issue lied, especially the one thing I had to realize was, if I'm putting myself in these positions of always courting and always dating and always doing these things, I am now putting myself in a position of where I'm not able to take care of myself, right? So if I'm spending all this money doing X, Y, and Z, but then I turn around and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of struggling to pay my bills, or hey, I'm trying to get some new clothes for myself or do something. I'm not able to do that for myself. And in turns, it can develop resentment, right? It can develop resentment. So down the line, you may be having more expectations of somebody you're dating because you feel like you're giving them your all. That's one thing I had to learn. It was like, okay, now I can't put myself in a position where I'm, having these expectations or I'm having resentment towards somebody I'm dating because I'm choosing to spend my last dime on this date. And I've also been in this situation too, which I feel like a lot of fellas may be in as well too, where you're dating or you're in a relationship and you may not have a lot of funds because you're working towards a goal. Now, working towards a goal can be like you're going to school, you're starting a business, you're focusing on your investment, but also too, you're in a relationship and you're trying to date. Now, it is super important even in these situations. I know dating and relationships are two different things, but the common ground still is, are you able to afford dating or be in a relationship? Especially if you're working towards something. And this is where you have to have an honest conversation with the woman that you're dating, fellas, is I may not be able to afford X, Y, and Z because I'm working on A, B, and C. And it's up to the women whether they want to decide if they want to be with you based on, you trying to build and you trying to, work on all these different things to help better yourself. Ladies, I know this can be kind of risky as well too, because I'm always a big component of not dating potential. But this is something, if you're willing to accept, you have to be understanding you may be taking a risk by dating somebody's potential. And I want to clarify what I mean by dating potential is because when we talk about dating potential is you're dating somebody who you're trying to imagine who they can possibly be. And when you do that, you're dating somebody based on the image you see or the vision you see for them, but they may not see it for themselves. Or they may not be actively working on that vision or those goals that they say they're gonna do. Now, again, dating potential can be super risky, and I don't really recommend it, but I don't wanna impose what works for me to impose what may possibly work for y'all. Because you will know the person that you're dating or you're dealing with better than I would, because I don't even know the person that you're dating. This person could be the next, Jeff Bezos. This person could be the next billionaire, millionaire, whatever it may be. But just understand that you are taking a risk and make sure that you're not only just taking a risk, but you're taking a calculated risk by dating this person. Now, the last thing I will say about even dating potential or dating somebody who's broke or may not have any money, if you're dating this person and you don't see any progress over time, like in the video we just watched, it seemed like this woman was taking care of this man for some years. So sometimes there's these unrealistic expectations that you may have of your partner, the person that you're dating, and expecting them to change, but they haven't changed in years. They haven't changed ever since you guys dated. So now you have the expectations of them doing better when they haven't shown you better. So understand too, when you're dating somebody that's broke or you're dating somebody who may not have the funds to really court, is this something new? You know, because they could have been up and now they're down, right? Like they could have been at the top of their game and now it's like, okay, they need to reserve and they need to, you know, we're not doing Nobu and, you know, the steakhouses, we may need to do like Chili's or Applebee's, you know. That may be a different circumstance. But if you guys have always been going to Applebee's or you guys have always been going to these mid-level restaurants, you guys never been anywhere else, the expectation couldn't be that they should be taking you somewhere else, especially if they haven't shown you or done better since the time you guys been dating or you guys been in a relationship. Now also, fellas, this is something I'll leave you with. If you are in a position where you're trying to build and you have goals and a vision for yourself, you may not be able to do all the things that you would like to do while you're dating or you're in a relationship. Over time, you have to have something to show for it. You have to show some type of progress. You have to show that, hey, look, I'm working on this and here's what the results have been thus far. You can't just use lip service and talk about what you want to do if you don't really have any receipts to show what you've been working on. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you guys agree with dating while you're broke or courting while you're broke or being broke in a relationship? And if this video was helpful, make sure you share this video with somebody that may also benefit from this information as well too. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Terrence, Stewart, y'all take care.